Hello friends, today we're going to be doing the background for our Kahid Wiley inspired portraits. As you can see in my background, that's the area behind my figure. I have a lot of leaves, and that's because Kahid Wiley loved to put nature in his background. So we're going to be repeating leaves in our background together, and then later on we'll be adding some color to these. In my video right now, I am going to be using a Sharpie marker, but you will be using a pencil at your seat. So there's a couple of types of leaves that we're going to do. The first leaf is going to be similar to this one right here. So what we're going to start is the center texture of the leaf first. Those lines you see and those details you see on your leaf. We're going to find a spot anywhere on our paper and draw a line that goes diagonal. Off of that line, I'm going to do two curves. So I'm going to come a little bit down from that line, and I'm going to do a curve that comes up and ends at the opposite end. If you want to make this a little longer for the stem, you can. I'm now going to start another curve that goes in the opposite direction, and it starts and ends at the same point on this line. So I'm going to put my finger right where I started this line here and draw a curve that comes and meets back. If it's not perfectly like mine, that's okay. If you were to look closely at the leaves on every tree, some have a little bit of an extra curve to them. No leaf is identical to each other. Now we're going to do the center details, a little couple more of those, and we're going to do some diagonal lines. They almost remind me of V's. So what we're going to do is some upward V's coming off the middle of that line. A diagonal comes down. I do about 3. Perfect. I'm going to now repeat this line somewhere. By repeating this line, it's going to help bring the artwork together and create unity. So I'm going to find another spot to do this same type of leaf. I want it to be in the opposite end of the paper to help my eye move around. So I think I might do one here, and it doesn't have to be the same size. Start with your line, then do your curve, and then do your diagonal downwards lines that are basically just V's. I'm going to do one in each corner. Great friends, now that I have that done, as you can see by working around each corner, I was able to fill some space and help my eye move around. Now what we're going to do is, I call it a heart-shaped leaf. It kind of looks like this. You're going to start with that center again. I'm going to do one in the middle this time. And then what I'm going to do, instead of doing a regular curve like this, I'm going to have the bottom come out a little more. It almost looks like a heart. So I'm going to come out and back in. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. They do not have to perfectly match. Okay. And these diagonals, I'm going to have them touch the edge of the leaf. So you're going to go on the line and you're going to do an upwards diagonal instead of a downwards that goes from that middle line all the way to the edge. Now you're going to do that over here, middle all the way to the edge. I'm going to do about 1 to 2 more of those. Alright friends, I'm now going to do another one, because remember we want to repeat each of our leaves. It doesn't have to be the same size, so go ahead, do that leaf somewhere else again. Start with your line, do your half heart here that curves out and comes in, curve that comes out, and then diagonals in, and then your diagonals that touch the edge. Alright friends, I'm going to show you one more leaf. This leaf has 3 lines coming out of it. So this one's a little different. You're going to start with a line, just like the others. Okay? You're going to put your finger about in the middle of that line and do a diagonal line that comes from that center. I try to keep them similar in the same length as the line right here, so I stop when it gets to about that point. And I'm now going to go in, and on each line, one at a time, I'm going to do a curve like I did on this one. I'm going to do a curve that comes right to that center where those lines are coming from. A curve that comes this way, and then a curve that comes this way. A curve that comes this way, and a curve that comes this way. Go ahead, friends, do a few more of those. Remember, you want to repeat that leaf again. So one more time, I'm gonna do a line. Then in the middle, draw a diagonal. Kind of looks like a foot, like a foot of a bird, or a footprint to a bird. And then you're gonna do a curve, 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 curve. Okay, go ahead, friends, fill up anywhere you have empty spaces with some more lines, or more. Go ahead, friends, and fill up some empty spaces with some more leaves. I'm thinking I'm going to do one more here, and then I'm going to say I'm done. Awesome, my friends. We are now going to be adding color to these, and I'm going to show you how to do a really cool watercolor effect with markers. We're actually not coloring these leaves in. We're going to outline them so that we can later on go in with some water. And that what's going to happen is that marker is going to bleed and spread its color. So it's very important that you follow the directions right now so that it is done correctly. I'm going to take any color Mr. Sketch marker, and I'm going to go over all my Sharpie lines with that marker in my leaves. Notice how I'm not filling in. I'm going to start with my first color, and I want to repeat that color down somewhere else away from that one. So maybe over here in this corner. Color, or get a different one. I think I'm going to get a different one. So I'm going to go in with some orange now. You're going to go in, outline. I'm not coloring in the background. I'm not coloring in the leaves. I know that looks kind of boring right now. It's going to be so amazing when we go and paint it next week.